Park, the Giants in town for a 3-game set, and all eyes on number 99, Spencer Strider.
Every time he comes in and says, hey, I can keep going, he says, I know you can, but we're not doing this for tonight.
Francisco Giants lineup presented by your local Toyota dealer. Again, it's a lineup.
There's a little bit of break from John. So
off we go to the doubleheader on Saturday. And he's dominant here to start. He gets Wade Jr. on the slope. First build to left center. However, Harris has it on.
it sneaks up on you before you know it, Jeff.
DH Wilmer Flores. It's a fastball at the top of the spot by a game and a half. So very much in playoff contention. Their hitting is not getting going here in the first inning. Spin. Ronald Acuna at the top. Harris still batting second with Nicky Lopez down in the ninth. He's been struggling a little.
Break out a lot. That's going to be a tall task.
Ronald sees. He laces through the hole on the right side for a single. Braves have faced. They have faced everybody else now. They play the same game suspension. Got that suspension because he returned to the dugout after being ejected in the fruit mustache. That drops. And they're at the ERA. This flare is foul down the right field side.
To get away from their foundation.
He's ahead of Riley. Runner goes for second. Look out over there, right in between. Wash. Missed the outside corner there on the slider. 1-2. Called strike at the top of the zone. And ball to short. Bobbled though by Crawford. Yeah, caught a break. 18-game hit streak. Longest active in Major League Baseball.
Speed away right here.
18-game hit streak for Marcell Ozuna.
Not a slide.
Dario with runners at first and second. And he takes a strike on the splitter. Mets. Mets chugging around third.
Couple weeks, Marcell's around the bases like he's Ronald out there.
Oh gosh, he has been a magnet as of late.
Fourth time in what?
That's where he took one a few games ago. Let's see if Orlando. It's taken by Estrada, and he retires. Nothing. And cleaning up, playing left field. Payoff from Spencer, and he strikes him out. 99 from 99. It's now for Strider. 2 strikeouts to 2. Strider. And he strikes out another victim. The first 5. And now he faces J.D. Davis. A chance at another K here. And he got it. Strikes out the side. Strider.
Pitching, homers. It's a good formula.
Everything is in sync right now. Braves out west. And when you. And he's late there. And he goes down swinging. Jeff, Alex Cobb, his 12th year in the big.
Tampa, they all threw those changeups.
Hands of Ronald. Kind of an awkward. Let's get this. It bounces. Triple. And now that pitch inside to Austin Riley. Right. And it gets over the head of Peterson. 3-0.
To your point, 2 quick outs, and you're thinking he got a chance for a quick scoreless inning, and then the next thing.
He got to deal with Olsen. Grounded to Estrada though, and that will end it.
You think?
Yeah.
Pretty close.
That's what happened when you have young kids.
Yeah. Getting game 2, that throw that he made down to first base and picked. Who'd you pick off?
Manny Ramirez.
Manny Ramirez.
Tremendous game. I knew sooner or later our offense was going to.
Strider looking for his 6th strikeout already. My goodness. 6 strikeouts with Smoltz for 3 games up here in the booth, so we're still recovering. So it's a sensitive subject, right?
Alumni weekend since 2000. Now they had the parade. They had the parade. They had the record.
Javi Lowe, 15-game hit streak after the single in the first, and he has been really hitting well. You look at the.
He lives with my neighbor too, so they knew each other before he moved.
Sharp grounder to Crawford. 1 away.
That's the deal, and they have to learn how to call a game and, you know, do all that stuff. And he worked hard at it. He
did a great job.
Field charging and taking it is Meckler. 2 out.
15 years.
It just looks like he stepped off the playing field.
Well, I got a wedding coming up, Brandon.
For the 15th time.
Thanks, Brandon.
Bobbled at third by Davis. Arcia. You got a family wedding coming up, right?
Yeah, my dog.
Oh, Arcia goes down swinging, chasing the knuckle curve. Well, Glenn, great to see you. How are you?
It's good to be here.
This team is some of the Braves teams, and you obviously saw some pretty good ones, and it's hard to find
the guys.
But he's got so much composure, and he's got everything you need. Really bad to say.
You're saying they were model citizens and model teammates?
A little more dirt.
Hubby was the best because for some reason, you know, baseball players, we're not.
I'm not saying any names.
How to be McCann. I mean, it only makes sense.
There and turn it and not worry about getting
decleated,
roll blocked. I mean, when I came up, they kept thinking, man, where are they getting these players?
Right.
And, you know, at my church, they would.
Ryder looks for an 8th strikeout, the first hit of the game for the San Francisco Giants.
And you can see them get better.
But after all of that time, a little bit.
Well, I did tell her the other day, you trying to get me to go back to work. Home during the winter, the honeydew list was so long, and now it's 10 times that long.
Oh, yeah.
And trying to help my son pick up some boards, and I wasn't as strong.
Peterson in the air to Acuna. That'll be the tries to throw it to third.
Supposed to be the next Johnny Bench. Then they put him at first, and then they put him in center field, and he found his assassin. But I can't wait to play with him.
Well, he was talking about Monday because he's playing
with him. I had one more swing.
Well, Conforto has no more.
From his last start, pretty good.
Man.
You know, you get the feeling, and Tom, you can say this because you.
I really wanted to know who Glenn Hubbard was talking about that didn't know the signs.
And it was all about baseball.
Second baseman hitting it to the other second base.
I mean, that's kind of the original guys where Sherholtz had put this whole thing in motion.
To the top, and Ronald here, he singled, and he's just won a line drive bullet out to Conforto. In the second for Michael. Might get his double here.
There's your double.
And the cycle right now. But he's standing on second base and on a couple of bounces to Crawford. That's kind of backwards. Always good to have you back here. How does it feel?
I feel
teammate Tom Glavine.
Especially Glav.
Yeah. Is that at the top of the list?
I mean, if not
giving any up. And I know he's a great wholesome guy, but you got to have a Glav story in your bag, right?
I do.
I was ready to see hit some tanks in the chop house.
Yeah, I mean, we had a good battle a couple years ago. I think.
Well, you told me
he can hit.
I think it was last week when we were talking about the home run. Bailey is the batter here, 1 out in the 5th. We're talking with Steve Avery. You know, guys, you guys meeting, was there a game? Was there something?
We won our first 6 or 7 after the break, and the Dodgers lost the year before. That didn't go quite as well as 91 did, but you know, 3 and 9. So I was up long enough to not show that I wasn't ready. You know, when he came out and threw well in the second half, I think and Glad threw obviously great all year.
Leading it 3-0 as they bat in the 5th. Steve Avery, our guest right now here on Alumni Weekend, former pitcher.
Oh, he's impressive. That's what I mean. That was one of the quickest innings I've ever seen. Right,
pitching for San Francisco to Matt Olson. This out to Peterson for the first out. I asked Glav, Steve. Glav held his own with the bat, but sometimes I'd be like, oh, come on, just put the ball in play. What would
probably let us an average, but
I feel like Brandon kind of took a cheap shot at you, Tom.
You guys played with him. I'll let you handle that. That's all.
He had 2, and you knew what you had coming up in 8-9. So, you know, there's no.
Yeah, to Abe's point, I mean, you know, most lineups. We're talking to Tom Seaver, and you know, he would talk about breaking down a lineup, and that
2-2 here to Eddie. And he's got it. Steve Avery, thanks so much for coming up to brought it up earlier.
Oh my! I'm afraid Nancy doesn't know yet.
It was a.
I did my alumni selfie, and this one was dangerous. I was standing on it, top beating like crazy for about 10 minutes. Can't believe you got that. Well, this is just a fun night. It's always a fun week. Do what the Braves do, so we're having a blast. Next year I'm going to wear a helmet to all of us to be able to just see the guys, see some of my family here, Aunt Jake and our daughter-in-law Ariane, and got 3.
Never forget
that. I got 0 excuses.
You see when you
fun to have as a teammate, and he gave so much. I don't know how many years he was here as a coach. Is here, and he was career. Teach me how to play. And